The Colour of Music Festival is proud to announce its chamber music series and a special literary event at the iconic Guild Theatre in the community of Oak Park, a historic suburb of the city of Sacramento. Once a thriving community, Oak Park experienced what many suburbs witnessed during the 60s, 70s and 80s, a precipitous decrescendo of unfortunate effects on a once premier and thriving community. Since 2003, 40 Acres has been a beacon of transformative change in a community that has had its share of challenges, through it all, enormous plight, and what seemed to be many decades of decline. Former mayor and former NBA star Kevin Johnson set forth a vision to change the community back to what his parents experienced. A thriving community with shops, businesses of all sorts, but most importantly, the black community taking pride in what it had become. To do this, Mr. Johnson would form the St. Hope.
St. Hope is a vision of really revitalizing the entire neighborhood of Oak Park. Oak Park, once a thriving community, became in a disinvested redevelopment and very declining area. So St. Hope had the opportunity, and through the vision of the founder, Mayor Kevin Johnson, is to really transform the community back to the vibrancy it once was.
Reading comprehension is the gateway to a world beyond our homes where we grew up. So it would make sense one of the anchors of the 40 Acres complex would be the underground bookstore. Known affectionately as Mother Rose throughout the Oak Park neighborhood, Miss Georgia West is the mother of Kevin Johnson, the visionary brains behind the pace-setting nucleus of 40 Acres.
I was raised in this community of Oak Park. I went to high school right down the street. So this was an important section of Sacramento. In fact, Oak Park is the first suburb of Sacramento. It was thriving back in the day when I went to high school. We had businesses in Oak Park. And then of course, Kevin was born, went the same way, going to school down the same street, and there were no businesses. All the businesses left the community, and so there was a lot of drugs, prostitution. All the businesses were boarded up. So it just changed. Kevin, he knew that education was so important, and he picked Cal Berkeley because it was the #1 public institution in the country. And so he went to Cal to play basketball. His vision for wanting to come back and help his community never faltered. And it was the same as when he left it. No businesses. He's the visionary for this great project. It's called the 40 Acres Project. We opened in 2003, and it's thriving now. And we started this whole revitalization of Oak Park. And today, in 2021, it's the place to be in Sacramento.
All of this wonderfulness is under the umbrella of the non-profit St. Hope. Established in 1989, it is a family of non-profits committed to revitalizing Oak Park through high-quality public education and economic development. For 30 years, St. Hope has created an engine that has a $400 million economic impact to Oak Park and the greater community. No one can explain this vision better than the man himself, former mayor of Sacramento and former NBA star Kevin Johnson.
Welcome to Oak Park in Sacramento. This is the neighborhood I grew up in. Oak Park was like the ghetto of Sacramento, where all the negative things went on. And I remember growing up as a kid, people would always say good things don't come out of Oak Park. So my whole life I've been trying to prove people wrong, that positive things can come out and rise from the Oak Park community. I was lucky enough to go to elementary school, middle school, and high school in Sacramento. I went to Sacramento High School. My mom went to Sacramento High School. My dad went to Sacramento High School. My grandfather went to Sacramento High School. So this is a big tradition in our community, Sacramento High School. Second oldest high school west of the Mississippi. I was lucky enough to be the first in my family to go to college. I got a basketball scholarship to Cal Berkeley. You fast forward, I finished my NBA career. I come back to Sacramento, and we had started this project called 40 Acres. And 40 Acres was named after 40 acres and a mule. African Americans were given a promise after slavery, you get 40 acres and a mule to till the ground and make a living. That promise was broke, and I don't think anybody's ever given us 40 acres. So we named this, we claimed our 40 acres. But what shaped this project here was all those black communities around the country and what they had. That's what's called 40 Acres. So we're super proud of that. So that culture piece was important. We've had a number of people here, but the one thing that's missing, they say it's out there. I ain't never heard this black classical music orchestra thing. So they told me there's some company called the Color of Music Festival. So I called my favorite council member, Rick Jennings, and I'm like, can you see if we can get the Color of Music Festival here in Sacramento? And he said, man, I got this. So they come to Sacramento, but I'm like, we got to get them to come to the Guild Theater. So I am proud to say in 2021, you're going to see the Color of Music Festival, African Americans and even beyond African Americans, people of color on this stage performing classical music for an audience of 200 people. That's going to be some treat. And I've already negotiated that I got a front row seat. So bring it on.
From literary offerings, piano and vocal duos, exquisite chamber presentations, and a finale masterwork performance, the city of Sacramento's artistic and classical music scene continues to set the pace for other communities to emulate. Now Oak Park is part of an all-new musical beacon of light, utilizing its resources to bridge community differences through music. The festival's West Coast debut is unmistakably a truly community affair. Color of Music Festival Petite Sacramento runs November 10th to the 13th. For tickets and additional information, visit us online at colorofmusic.org.